In a not-so-distant time, humankind had reached an unimaginable level of knowledge and power compared to past eras. They had mastered technologies that seemed like pure magic, believing themselves to be gods on Earth. One of their greatest achievements was the control of the weather, an ability that initially appeared to be completely under their command. However, humanity's arrogance soon brought forth catastrophic consequences. Their control over the weather slipped through their fingers and became their worst nightmare. Torrential rains, devastating tornadoes, unstoppable hurricanes, and intense hailstorms ravaged the planet. The adverse climatic conditions of such magnitude destroyed crucial infrastructures, including nuclear power plants, releasing radioactive hazards into the environment. Research laboratories were also affected, releasing deadly viruses and bacteria that spread uncontrollably. Dams, unable to withstand the fury of nature, collapsed, and entire cities were engulfed by floods. Radioactivity and lethal viruses combined, giving rise to aberrant mutations in humans and generating dangerous transformations in animals. Gradually, the world plunged into an endless apocalypse. No one was capable of putting an end to it. Governments refused to cooperate with each other, allowing chaos and destruction to grip humanity even more mercilessly. Society was immersed in the survival of the fittest. Looting, violence, and abuse became commonplace. Police brutality, desperate to control the situation, only exacerbated the existing violence. Although the situation within the cities was relatively better, thanks to rudimentary protective measures, outside them, near the nuclear power plants and laboratories, the outlook was much worse. The mutations had created monsters, terrifying and dangerous creatures, not only due to their grotesque appearance, but also because of the diseases and mutations they could transmit with a simple wound. Technological advancement and the desire to play God had caused civilization to regress, not only in terms of technological progress, but also socially. Now, the law of the strongest reigned. The creatures that were once harmless animals had become radioactive mutations roaming unchecked through the desolate world. Surviving these creatures was only the first challenge humanity faced. Rebuilding the world they themselves had destroyed would require several hundred years of effort and dedication. Amidst the darkness and desolate post-apocalyptic landscape, humanity fought desperately to survive. Dispersed communities faced scarcity of resources, disease, and the constant threat of lurking mutant creatures. Chaos and brutality persisted in the fragmented society. Rival factions fought over the remaining resources, unleashing merciless violence. Self-proclaimed leaders emerged, taking advantage of people's despair and fear to impose their tyrannical control. Despite the efforts of some groups to rebuild and preserve knowledge, most advanced technology had been irretrievably lost. Science and engineering were in a primitive state, constrained by scarce resources and lack of infrastructure. Humanity had regressed to an almost medieval era, where survival depended on rudimentary skills and the struggle for resources was constant. The outside world remained a dangerous and desolate place. Radioactive mutations had spawned grotesque and terrifying creatures that roamed unchecked, turning the world into a hostile and menacing place. The effects of radiation manifested in incurable diseases and physical deformities, plaguing those who survived with a painful and fleeting existence. In the midst of this apocalyptic nightmare, some still clung to hope and the ideal of a better future. Resistance groups emerged, fighting against oppression and trying to preserve the last remnants of humanity. However, their task was monumental and their success uncertain.